Yeah, one thing about real estate, I tell people as a joke, it's like being in the mafia. You go out horizontal, nobody retires.
Alrighty, we are back with another My Living Media podcast. I'm Lucy Dodd, and today I'm here with Ivan from RE/MAX Prestige. Welcome, Ivan.
No, thank you
Thanks
for having
being
me.
here.
Nice to be here.
If you just want to start off with introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I'm Ivan Danziger. I'm a broker for 31 years now. It's been a long time. Born in the Bronx, New York. Lived most of my life in North Jersey, Paramus, Ridgewood, if anybody knows those towns. And I've been down in Florida now since 2011, 13 years.
Great. And we were just talking, you actually just relocated to this area.
1 month ago, yeah. So we're here. We're a little new to the area, but it's only 50 miles from where we were. I'm kind of familiar with it, but, so we're in tradition. We bought a new home. It was great. Moving was horrible, but the rest of it all worked out. We survived.
Awesome. Well, Tradition is a great area. Welcome to the best little part of Florida. How did the real estate journey start for you?
I was a mechanic, auto mechanic. I'd worked on transmissions and that kind of thing. And I was on unemployment, and I went with a friend of mine to go look at homes. And he was going with a RE/MAX office, so that was my introduction to RE/MAX. And during a little bathroom break that my friend took, the broker told me, hey, you'd be good at this. Get your license. And that was back in 1993, and the rest is history. 31 years. I'm still here.
That's great. And tell us a little bit about RE/MAX Prestige and where you guys are located.
My it's my broker is Rose Ferroni. She's a great lady. It's a family business. Everybody works together. We got 5 offices in Palm Beach County, and they were in Wellington, West Palm, Royal Palm. They got a good setup. So I'm up here now, but I like their company so much, I'm going to stay with them. And I'll just do business from up here because everything's on the internet now. You don't have to be in a certain place.
Exactly. And so now we're going to get into some questions and some tips that maybe will be good for our audience to learn some insights into the real estate world and the market. So with this local real estate market constantly evolving, what are some of the hottest trends you are seeing right now?
Right now, there's still a big lack of inventory, and it's getting tough to get financing. The rates are so high. I don't know if that's a hot trend, but that's what's keeping people out of the market. The economy is in rough shape, but real estate always bounces back. So I tell people, I sold my house in West Palm Beach, and we sold it 1 week before Christmas, December 18th. We signed a contract on the house. And it was incredible. But it just goes to show you, keep it on the market. If you really want to sell, there's always a buyer. And we closed on the house. We did great with it. And then we just closed on our house in Tradition. So got to be in it to win it.
And do you work with, who is your typical clientele? Do you work a lot with buyers or more with sellers?
I'm mostly a listing agent.
Okay.
But listing agent meaning I list the houses, I market the houses, and a lot of times I get my own buyers. So I create my own inventory pool, and now I'm creating my own buyer pool, and it works out terrific. And especially now with the new NAR, that lawsuit settlement, I don't know if you were familiar with that, but they just made new rulings, and it's going to go into effect in July. You're not going to be able to offer a buyer's broker compensation in the MLS. It's going to be prohibited. So sellers are going to make out really well because they're not going to be responsible to pay the buyer's broker commission anymore. So, yeah, it should change the business a lot. And I think it's going to be better for listing agents because it'll drive more of those buyers to us versus working with another agent.
Yeah, exactly. So first-time home buyers, do you work a lot with first-time home buyers or?
I get them occasionally. Most of the people I get have already owned homes and they're coming to buy a second or third home. And, first-time buyers, you got to really do a lot of extra work with them. And if they come to me, I'm glad to help them because I've been around the business so long. Nobody's going to pull the wool over my eyes. I mean, I'll work with you. You work with me. It's like going steady. Yeah. And that's how it is, but no mistakes. You'll get the deal done And that's what I tell my sellers and my buyers. Hire me, I'll get the deal done for you. I work very flexible with the commissions, always. And it's kind of funny with this lawsuit on the commissions, I've always been doing flexible fees, so stupid me. I've been giving people a great deal for years. Yeah.
Well, I guess I wouldn't technically consider myself a first-time home buyer. There was a point where I was looking, but I honestly felt so defeated just by, today's market, and
Prices are crazy.
they're crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was a point when I was ready to start looking. It was that time where everything was just getting, something would go on the market and the next day it'd be gone. Where now I do feel like maybe things are sitting a little longer than they were. But do you have any advice to offer to people like me or first-time home buyers in this market?
Have a decent down payment to put down. Be patient. Work with a good realtor and stick with that realtor. And if you have to sign a buyer's broker agreement, do it, because if you get someone like me, I'm going to give you 110%. And you can't say that about all agents out there. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, because I also feel like, and I don't know if you agree on this, but during COVID, there was a lot of people, I feel like, moving to the Florida area and becoming real estate agents. Was that a thing you guys noticed?
There's tons of part-timers, weekend warriors, and you know what? It's your right to have the real estate license. But I remember going on a listing appointment one time, and the lady loved my proposal. She said, I would love to list with you, but my next door neighbor just got his real estate license, and she said he's a butcher part-time for Publix. So I said, I hope he doesn't butcher your deal. And I politely left, and that was the end of that. I never checked to see what happened.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I've actually, a few real estate agents I've talked to, that is their number one thing too, to always make sure you're working with an expert real estate agent that has experience.
Yep. Experience is the most important thing. And you know what? My little slogan is experience the difference, because the difference is experience. And I've been around 31 years. I must know what I'm doing by now. Yeah.
So what other, aspects do you think sets you apart from other realtors in the area?
It's just basically I'm in it for the long haul. This is all I do. I don't have another job. So every day I tell my wife, I wake up, I'm unemployed technically, and I have to find somebody to list their home with me and trust me and employ me. And I'll get you more money. I'll charge you less commission and keep on making paychecks, keep on performing a valuable service. And that's what we're here for. That's why we're licensed.
And how do you approach building these relationships and trust with your clients?
You meet people cold. They're either for sale by owner, or some of them are on the list. We can call them, and you just try and come across and make a connection with them. And sometimes you do. Most of the times you don't, because they're getting 50 or 70 calls from other agents within a day or two. So you just have to do your thing, provide your service, be honest with people, be upfront with them, and just tell the truth. That way I never have to remember what I said.
Yeah, and I was going to say, too, you seem like a very personable person, and I know people really appreciate that. So, like, even you coming in, and we just met 30 minutes ago, I feel like we're already good friends.
Thank you.
So
when you're ready to
I'm
buy,
sure they
call
love
me.
that. Yeah. I will. So do you have any success stories, or maybe like a memorable, sale for one of your clients that you want to share with us?
Over the years, I've become really good friends with a lot of my past clients, and it's just the way I am. A broker told me years ago, he said, don't get personally involved. But you know what? You just do. They're people. I'm good people. They're good people. I've helped, last year alone, 2 people move. And I mean, I'm not getting any younger. I'm in my 60s. So I'm out there lugging furniture and helping these people move. And, I felt good about it, and they recommended me to other clients, and it works out nice. You just do the right thing by people.
Yeah, that's really nice that you did that, actually. So do you have any predictions for the local real estate market in coming years, or for Florida maybe?
Well, where I am in tradition, it's going to grow like crazy. And as a realtor, I said, where do I want to be? Where they're adding inventory, hundreds and hundreds of homes every couple of months. So that's where the action is, and they're building up like a whole new city. And hopefully that'll be my next success story.
Yeah, we were just talking about that too, how even Stewart, Martin County, it is booming here. There is something new going up every day. New, just new everything, everywhere you go.
It's beautiful. Within 2 miles of where I live, they were putting up 2 new shopping malls, new business office parks. We're right off of 95. You can't hear it, but it's right there. So it's a great spot. And I mean, literally hundreds of homes a month are being closed on, and that's inventory. So, it really works. It's going to work out nice.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess we'll kind of switch now to the opposite. Do you see any big challenges coming up facing the real estate industry in the future?
Well, with this lawsuit with the NAR and then the Department of Justice, and like I just went into, the sellers are going to make out better because they don't have to have any requirement to offer a buyer's broker compensation on the MLS. So that's going to be great for sellers. It's going to be rough for buyer's agents because now with the new ruling, it's going to get approved formally, but it's already been tentatively approved by a judge. So the buyer's brokers, the buyer's agents are going to have a buyer broker agreement signed before they even take people out to show them homes. And you know how hard it is to get people to sign a paper. There's millions of realtors out there. Why should they just sign up with one person? So I kind of think I'm a listing and marketing agent. I attract buyers anyway. I think by having inventory, listing homes, I'm going to get even more people coming to me. And with the flexible commissions I offer using the variable rate commission arrangement, it's going to drive more buyers to me, do both ends of the deal, save the sellers money, keep on moving, keep on making paychecks.
Yeah, that's perfect for you. And do you think, I think we kind of touched on this before the podcast, but do you think this will kind of wean out some of the weekend warriors or the ones that are just kind of doing it?
Absolutely, yeah. I was told by one of the trainers in our office, and she does a lot of work with the Beaches MLS, and she said last year it was almost 20% of the membership didn't renew. So that's a lot of money. And it's a lot of members. It's a lot of money for the association. But I think in the end, what would you rather have, a beginner or a part-timer or someone with 31 years experience? So it's a natural attrition, I guess you would call it.
Yeah. And what excites you the most about your future in real estate?
Well, you're self-employed. So when you do well, you pat yourself on the back, and when you do bad, you got to kick yourself in the butt. And it's just, that's how it is. I like the fact I could take off when I want, which is not too often, but you can work when you want. You don't have to work. If you're making enough deals, you could take a nice vacation, or you can stay in it, not take vacations, make yourself crazy, but make a lot of money.
And if you could give one piece of advice to maybe someone who's starting out, what would your advice be to them?
When I started in the business, so I got my little diploma from the real estate school. I had my desk, my phone. Congratulations, you're on your own. I called up the 3 or 4 agents in my area, and the one lady said to me, "Get ready to swim with the sharks, dear." And you know what? It was never that bad. But you got to be a self-motivated person. You got to learn the business. You got to know the rules, and this way you don't have to take any unnecessary BS from anybody, because everybody that's in it is supposed to cooperate. So I did my thing, and it worked out well.
Yeah. And we were kind of talking earlier, when you got your start, you were out there pulling doors, cold calling, where I was telling you that would terrify me to do and, today. But yeah, that's crazy.
We knocked on doors. I mean, it was crazy back then. You had really no internet. It was the very beginning. Cell phones were in the very beginning. You had the old brick phones. And believe it or not, knocking on doors, you did business. Calling the newspaper ads. Sundays, go to open houses, for sale by owner open houses. They don't really do them much anymore down here. It kind of faded out with the newspapers. But we made a living doing it. And now you just have to go with the technology. And I'm an old fart now. So that's why I'm here with you guys. Yeah.
And a question about for sale by owner. So I actually have seen a lot of those in my neighborhood lately. Do you guys typically, when you see those, you want to work with those people? How does that, because my mom actually, when she sold her house, she was going to do for sale by owner. And then I'm pretty sure an agent ended up finding out through the low, and then they ended up working together. But is that kind of what you guys do with that?
That's what I've been doing for 31 years. It's very competitive, but competition is good. Yeah. And we go out and we do whatever we have to do to, get the listing. But on the flip side, the person selling the listing has to have motivation. Why are you doing it? When do you want to do it? And where do you want to go? So the 3 W's, if you get 2 out of 3, you'll probably make money. But if you get 3 out of 3, it's like a home run.
Yeah, and why would someone want to do for sale by owner? Like, what is the reasoning behind that?
Either they're having financial problems, they're upside down on a loan. It's just human nature. They don't want to pay the commission. But I go in and tell them, look, forget about listing it. What would you pay me if I sold your house? And they'll usually say, I'll give you 2%, or I'll give you 2.5% or 3%. This is what their normal response. So I'll say, well, you know what? For about that same number, I can put it in the MLS. You'll have exposure to I believe there's over 30,000 realtors in our MLS. You don't have to take an offer unless it's an acceptable price, and it says that in the listing. So I say, not what do you got to lose, but you have everything to gain. Put it out, get some offers. Yeah. I'll make it happen with the numbers. And you got to be in it to win it, the old saying, like I said before.
Yeah, I just have always wondered that, because I've been seeing a few lately, and I'm like, I wonder what the exact reasoning is, because I just know with MLS or when they're on Zillow, there's so many outlets you guys have for these people to be seen.
Once you put it in the multiple listing service, that's the best marketing you can do. I mean, you could do so many other things, but you're going out to millions of people between the MLS, between Realtor.com. RE/MAX has an unbelievable presence. It's a huge company, international company. So just by listing it, I tell people sometimes, if you listed it with a chimpanzee, the house will probably sell. But if you list it with an experienced broker, realtor, you're going to get it sold. We're going to take care of everything so you don't have any problems. And that's what you really need. It's a very complicated business. It's not like years ago. They did everything on index cards. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, I can't even. We were trying to look, me and my boyfriend, we were trying to look at homes, and then we got defeated. But it was just even that whole process. I was like, this seems like the most confusing thing ever. I definitely need a realtor to hold my hand and walk me through this, because I had no idea what I was walking into.
And the rates are killing everybody, because like a couple of months ago, there was a special on the news on one of the channels, and it was $800 or $900 more a month on the median priced home. Yeah. That's right in the middle. And it's like crazy. And now people, you go to Publix, I mean, you're spending twice what you were spending. Gas is crazy. So there's a lot going on, but that's what's really stifling the market. Yeah. And if interest rates would go back somewhere near where they were, I think they're over 7 now. A few years ago, they were less than half.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I rent from my uncle, so he does give me like a pretty good deal where I'm lucky, but I have a lot of friends who are still living at home because they can't even, rent's crazy. It's almost a mortgage payment to rent now.
$3,000 to $4,000 rent, because we looked at it just in case when we were selling our home in West Palm recently. We said, let's just see, maybe we'll get a rental. Let's look at it. Beautiful places, but $3,000 to $4,000 a month is crazy. It's right, dumping it right in the toilet,
Literally.
The money. It's gone.
Yeah, so I'm like, at least my uncle is taking it. I know it's going to him.
Yep.
And so that works out in that case, but it's so honestly just to
the mortgage is like a forced savings account. You're going to build equity. First few years, not so much, but once it turns around. But it's hard to get in. It's hard with the down payments. It's just difficult now for everybody. So hopefully that gets a lot better, but, just the way it is.
Yeah, I hope, because we would love to stay in this area. I don't think we would go. The furthest south I would go is Hobe Sound, so it's really not that far south, but I would love to stay in the Stewart area, Martin County, but I would go out to Okeechobee because I have heard that's apparently supposed to be booming.
Up and coming, yeah, they're old-time Florida towns, but you know what it is? The dirt is the same here, the dirt looks the same there, but it's the price of the dirt here is through the roof, and the price of the dirt there is lower, very reasonable. Yeah. Building supplies cost about the same thing. The labor to build a house is about the same thing, but it's buying the dirt. Yeah. And if you pay too much, it carries through the whole deal. If you get it at the right price, now you got an affordable house. And that's how you have to look at it.
Yeah. Hopefully one day I would just love to, own a home here in this area. So I hope I can one day.
You will. Things will change. The one thing you find out, things change. Yeah. Nothing stays the same too long.
So, what would you say is your favorite part about living and working in this area?
It's become home now after 13 years. So I love it here. I love the weather. The tax situation is great. There's no state income tax. I mean, it's just a really beautiful place to live. And it's a big state. So we've visited a lot of different parts of the state, and there's still so much we haven't seen. So as things move on, I stay busy, hopefully, and we have time to travel here, travel there. And what's nice about Florida, you could take long weekend trips, 2, 3 nights, drive a couple of 100 miles, see a whole different part of Florida.
Exactly. Yeah, we love to go to the Keys, but then I also love northern Florida. It's really pretty, like in the Panhandle.
Beautiful.
You don't even
Gorgeous.
feel like you're in Florida.
Yeah.
It's
East
crazy.
Coast, West Coast, Panhandle, the
Keys,
Keys.
it's
It's
like,
like
how
how many like
Florida?
Floridas are within Florida?
Right? Or even just going across to the West Coast. That's just a whole other experience
Beautiful.
too.
Yeah.
And I always say what's really nice is just the fact that, I mean, it's kind of a cliche saying, but we really do live where people vacation, having the beach right there,
Oh,
the
yeah.
little shopping centers, the nice restaurants. It's just a really great state and area to live in.
It is beautiful, and we love it. And I'm not planning on moving again, so I'm going to be here for a long time.
We love that.
Yeah. One thing about real estate, I tell people as a joke, it's like being in the mafia. You go out horizontal, nobody retires.
So when you're not helping clients finding, their dream homes or selling their homes, what are you passionate about outside of work?
I love old cars. I've had a bunch of old Chevys. I'm an old Chevy guy. And, I like going to the car shows and doing that kind of thing. I spend time with my wife and with our kids and stuff. And we just try to enjoy life because someday you won't be here. So while you're here, have a good time. Have a few cocktails, loosen up. Try not to take yourself too seriously, and just try and keep providing a service, making money, and doing the right thing by people. And that's what it's all about.
I love that. And my last question for you is going to be, what is one thing you want to get across to this podcast audience?
All commissions are negotiable. And this lawsuit settlement between the NAR and the DOJ, this is the biggest thing that's hit real estate in decades. And it's going to change the business drastically. So I've been doing flexible fees my whole career, and it's just ingrained in me. I give people a great deal. So if you're really serious about selling and you're willing to price the house correctly, give me a chance. I'll come over. I'll give you the straight scoop on everything. If you like what you hear, you sign the papers. And the rest, it's up to the buyers out there. It's up to the way the market is. Some things we can't control, but everything is negotiable. So negotiate the best deal. Anybody that tells you that you can't, they're not being truthful with you.
Awesome. I will definitely take that message with me when I try to buy my first home. But thank you so much, Ivan, for joining us.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yes, of course. Bye, everyone.